My name is Ko Sithu. I am a consultant who provides advice on marketing and digital marketing for businesses to help them succeed and grow. Today, I will share some useful sales and marketing tips and techniques for businesses. Let's start for the advice and consultant section.
Okay, so what if I told you that the secret to writing copy that actually sells, well, it isn't about being some kind of creative genius. It's really about understanding a simple, ethical framework. We're going to break down a system for writing copy that sells, but maybe more importantly, how to do it without feeling, icky. It's all about effective, and I mean ethical, persuasion.
First things first, let's just completely tear down a huge myth that holds so many people back. This idea that you have to be a natural writer. It's not just wrong, it's probably costing you a lot of sales. The truth is, you're a much better writer than you give yourself credit for.
So, on the left, you've got the myth, right? The tortured artist, hoping for a lightning bolt of inspiration. But the reality, over on the right, is so much more empowering. See, great copywriting isn't some kind of magical art. It's more like an engineering project. It's a system. A system designed to build a rock-solid bridge between what you're selling and the person who needs it. And you know what the best part is? Anyone can learn the blueprint. This one sentence from way over a century ago is basically the key that unlocks the whole thing. When this guy, John E. Kennedy, said this to a famous ad man, it changed the entire industry forever. It totally reframes what we're doing. We aren't just writers. We're salespeople using words on a page or a screen. And honestly, that's why this skill is such a massive driver of wealth. Sometimes it's even more important than your web traffic or your fancy tech.
Okay, so if we're salespeople, what kind of salespeople should we be? This brings us to a really fundamental shift in how you think about it. It's about moving away from that aggressive, loud, buy now kind of pitching and stepping into a role that's much more about empathy and guidance. And this slide just illustrates that shift perfectly. Instead of being the loud, pushy pitcher on the left, you become the pastor, the shepherd on the right. And your goal isn't to manipulate people, it's to protect them, to care for them, to feed them good information, and to guide your audience, your flock if you will, to a solution that actually helps them. To build your whole message on this foundation of care, you can use this super simple but incredibly powerful template. I mean, think of this thing as your North Star. It forces you to get crystal clear on your value before you even write a word. For example, any parent can improve their child's behavior by using Best Kid Now because it makes good behavior automatic. See how that one sentence has it all? The audience, the problem, the product, and that unique because part? So this pastoring mindset sounds good, right? But how do you actually put it into practice? Well, that's where the system comes in. This is the PASTOR framework. It's a 6-step psychological sequence for ethical persuasion that you can apply to, well, pretty much any piece of copy you write.
Each letter here stands for a really critical step in your customer's journey. So it's P for person, problem, pain, A for amplify, S for story, T for transformation, O for offer, and finally R for response. Let's just, walk through each one.
The first step, P, is all about your customer. And here's the absolute golden rule. You have to join the conversation that is already happening inside their head. That means you have to understand their problem so well that you can describe it even better than they can. The moment you do that, you're not a salesperson anymore, you're a trusted friend. Step 2 is A, for amplify. This is where you gently, and I do mean gently, magnify the cost of not solving the problem. What's the emotional cost, the financial cost, the time cost? You're basically showing them the painful gap between where they are right now and where they want to be. For example, maybe the cost of indecision is the difference between making $5,000 a month and $15,000 a month. That's a pain point you can really feel.
Next up is S for story. And this slide shows you the most important rule of this whole step. You are not selling the vehicle, the stuff, the things you deliver. You are selling the destination, the transformation, the result. The story you tell is just the bridge that shows them how your solution is going to get them from their painful before state to that amazing after state. Let's make this totally concrete. People do not buy 8 DVDs and a workbook. They buy body sculpting workouts that burn fat while you sleep. They don't buy the stuff. They buy the better version of themselves that the stuff promises. So when you're writing, always focus on the result. Now for T, which stands for transformation and testimony. Your proof, like your testimonials, has to silently answer 3 huge questions that are bouncing around in your customer's mind. First,
Have you, the person selling this, actually done it? Second, have other people, people like me, done it? And third, and this is the big one, can I do it with my own unique challenges and situation?
So when you finally get to O, the offer, just remember this 80-20 rule. You want to spend about 80% of your words focusing on the transformation, the result, that beautiful destination, and only about 20% should be on the deliverables, the vehicle. Why? Because the real value is always in the outcome.
And finally, R is for response. After you've guided them this whole way, you have to actually ask for the sale. This is where a lot of people get kind of timid. Don't be vague. Be clear, be direct, and make it super easy. Tell them exactly what to do next. Click the button below. Fill out the form on the next page. Just guide them down that path of least resistance right to that awesome new result. Okay, so we've got the PASTOR framework. That's our strategic map. Now, let's zoom in on a couple of really powerful, practical tools you can use to grab attention and just pull your reader through every step of that journey. You have about 2 seconds to stop the scroll. Seriously, that's it. So your headline is everything. But don't try to reinvent the wheel. Just use these proven formulas. You've got the classic how-to, like how to write a book in 7 days. The transactional one is cool, like give me 30 minutes and I'll give you more traffic. And the super powerful if-then, like if you can send an email, you can build a platform. Now this is really fascinating. The psychology behind what they call blind bullets is all about creating curiosity gaps. These little open loops in the reader's mind. Our brains are just hardwired to want to close those loops. So when you write something like, the sneaky trick mechanics use to inflate your bill, it creates this little itch that the reader just has to scratch. It makes them keep reading to find out the answer.
All right, let's bring all this home. Here is a simple checklist you can use every single time to make sure your copy isn't just persuasive, but that it's also principled and ready to go. Before you hit publish, just run your copy through this quick pre-flight check. Number 1, did I actually follow the PASTR framework? 2, is my headline a stopper? Is it going to grab them by the eyeballs? 3, did I reverse the risk to make it an easy yes? And 4, is there a crystal clear call to action? If you can say yes to all 4, you're good to go.
So the ultimate takeaway is this. I want to leave you with a question that really reframes everything we just talked about. What if you stopped trying to persuade people and instead you focused on protecting them? Protecting them from bad advice, from failing, from just doing nothing. When you make that one fundamental shift, you can sell with total integrity and with incredible effectiveness.